All right, good afternoon out there, YouTube world, and welcome back in today for another exciting interview. I got a interesting lady here with me today named Beth Black, and she runs the Facebook group. Is it Keep Alabama Open?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you very much for coming on, Beth. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So I'm guessing Keep Alabama Open has to do with not shutting down over.
Yes. We originated as a group called Reopen Alabama when Alabama was first locked down. And it was got to be a very large group. We were up to 37,000 members. And then Facebook censored us and removed us off the platform. So
Really?
we restarted the group again. And then after they shut us down the second time, we waited a little bit, and then I decided, well, we'll restart it under a different name. So we just restarted grassroots effort. We're up to 338 members and growing every week.
They're taking you down twice now.
Yes.
And there's no like hate speech, kill doctors.
No, there's nothing radical about the group. It's strictly Reopen Alabama or Keep Alabama Open. The name kind of says it. We just believe in a free, non-mandated state. We just normal. Nothing radical to us. It was no lockdowns, no mandates, no masks. Just reopen the state. And now our goal is to keep the state open. Keep it a quote unquote free state.
How long? When did the group first get founded?
Oh, no, but the first Reopen Alabama group, I could not tell you the exact day. I was an admin from 2020 on until it got shut down. Keep Alabama Open has been started since about end of October of 2021.
Now, when it first opened, when it first hit, they had me at first for a minute until I started listening to it. Did they get you too, or
say that one more time? I'm sorry, I got a voicemail beep in.
They had me for a minute. Like I was believing all this stuff, and then I was like, started counting up there. I mean, did you have the same experience, or
I did right at the beginning. At the beginning, I did. I mean, like everybody, we just didn't know. We all saw the videos that were coming out of China. We saw the videos coming out of Italy, and we didn't know then. But then when it comes out, those videos were false. When it comes out, those videos were staged. Then I come out and I looked at things a little bit differently and then I started questioning everything. And then when the questions began to not even get answers, but more questions, and then when they started to lock us down, prevent people from working, prevent people from going into certain places, I began to see parallels with certain times in history of what the road we're going down. So that's why we want to keep the state open and free.
Here's one thing that got me to questioning this is, I don't know how many other people ever actually asked this, but they had those doctors, saying they was dying, in numbers over there in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
But there's never been one reported case of a dentist giving it to a patient or a patient giving it to a dentist, and they're right there in their map working. The first thing I was like, wait a second, that doesn't happen. So, what's your opinion on the masks?
Masks are pointless. I mean, they've come out and said it. They've said that I'm not a scientist. I'm just a normal person like most of everybody here. I'm not a scientist, but I can read and I can do basic math. And I know that the size of a coronavirus particle is slipping right through those masks. And besides, when you see people wearing masks, they're touching them. They got big gaps on the side. Even if they've got two masks on, there's still a gap right here. And anybody that's listening to the doctors that are actually coming out and talking are saying the masks do not prevent things from breathing in. They prevent things from coming out. I.e., when a doctor is operating and he wears a mask, that's to keep spittle from getting into the wound that he's working on. It's not to prevent things from breathing in. You would have to be in a full hazmat suit.
If you ever see somebody cutting sheetrock, go over there and look at the inside of that mask and tell me how much.
I remember put myself out there. I vape. I'm a vapor. I can vape through every mask I put on.
And if you remember when it first, thing first got started, Fauci said, you don't have to wear masks.
Yeah.
And now they're wearing two. What about the vaccine? What do you think about that?
I've not had the vaccine. Um, I will not get the vaccine. There's no point in it for me. I'm 41 years old. I'm not the youngest person. I'm not the oldest either, but I'm healthy. Even though I just said I vape, I'm not been sick. I'm not worried about it. I don't see the point of the vaccine, and also it's very scary to me and has been since its conception, because it's not a typical vaccine. It's not a vaccine where it's delivering a small portion of a virus into your body for your body's own immune system to kick in and build immunity towards a virus. This is something that's messing with your mRNA. And
Yeah.
again, I'm not a scientist, but I know basic science class what DNA, RNA is. I don't want something that's going to be messing with the signaler from my cells to my DNA. That's just not something I'm comfortable messing around with.
Yeah.
And that's how I've been from the get go.
I was, and I haven't taken one either. I haven't taken a vaccine, and that was the thing that got me too, is it changing the RNA. But then they said this thing's good for 6 months, and then they're taking second and third. So is this going to be for the rest of people's lives? They're going to be taking this thing?
That's what the director of Pfizer came out and said. He said, instead of doing the boosters, we'll just do periodical coronavirus tests. Of course he's going to say that because he's making money whichever way it goes. And that's what I don't understand, why people aren't seeing what these people that are coming out giving this advice, what they have to benefit from it.
Because one thing that got me with that is that vaccine is they started the first, I think, trials for it. The first case was in late January.
Mm-hmm.
Testing for it in March.
Yeah.
That really wasn't a lot. A lot of time.
Yeah. Typically, it takes 7 years for a medicine or something to go through all the trials, the testing, and everything. It takes 7 years. They rush this through in a matter of months.
And my thing too, I don't understand. And maybe it is effective for some people, but I'm really reading about people who've taken 3 boosters and then they're getting deathly sick from the coronavirus. Like, what's the point of taking this shot if you're still going to get sick?
Because I feel like it's a comfort blanket for those people, that it gives them some false sense of security in their head. It's not doing anything. They're still getting sick. They're still dying. They're putting all their faith in this magic shot, and it's not magic. And they're either in some sort of disassociated state at this point in time, or they're just not willing to admit they messed up, and they might have serious consequences for their actions, for their own health. Because the UK just came out and said that getting these continuous boosters is damaged their immune system.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I've read of so many people otherwise healthy and come out, and one lady lives close to me. She's having heart problems now from taking that thing, and I just
my friend's husband now has myocarditis and pericarditis
from the
healthy 40-year-old surgeon, and now has heart problems that will affect him for the rest of his life from the shot.
And another thing too, when this thing was going, or when it was really the hype and everybody's going, getting their vaccine and posting on Facebook, vaccinating.
They're not that anymore.
And I had one of the memes that guy saying, "Nobody cares that you got vaccinated."
I know. It's like we've entered some sort of, if you watch Stranger Things, we've entered the upside down world, because nobody posted that on Facebook when they got their flu shots, or or girls that go get a birth control shot every few months. You don't post that either. Why this?
I started turning around and posting I just want everybody to know today that I'm 100% not vaccinated. But even these people, you remember they was urging you, go get a vaccination, go get a vaccination. Like, wait a second, why are you pushing this? You want to take me down with you now? You saying that your vaccination is not going to work if I don't take one, is like me saying my seatbelt's not going to work if yours is not on.
Yeah, it's just ludicrous. I got to a point a few months ago where it began to make me angry. But then I'm like, why are you getting angry at these people? It's not their fault. They were intentionally brainwashed.
I said that to somebody one day. I said, look at this. I said, they've got you over there taking a vaccine, 3 boosters, wearing 2 masks, and socially distancing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see this?
Yeah, and the shock. There was a post in the group in Australia about how there was a study came out that said women find men more attractive that wear masks. I had to comment and was like, no, women do not find men in masks. That's a beta male trait. No.
No, not at all. Yeah, I've never, except for a few places they wouldn't let me in a few times, but I've never worn one. I don't think it should be mandated.
No, it should be choice. It should
Yes.
be if you feel comfortable wearing a mask and that's how that what make you want to go out. If you want to wear one, fine, wear one. But do not dictate to everyone around you to adhere to your demands. That's not right and that's not fair.
During that time, I wouldn't go to a bar or restaurant with. I'm not going there wearing a mask.
Yeah, I did go out in a restaurant because then I got kind of torn because it was like, do I not support these restaurants that are really trying to stay open and do business? So I wore the mask to the table, but then you take it off right when you get to the table. Can you? And now I've stopped doing that. I don't even wear one in the restaurant anymore.
Yeah, when it first came out too, you had to at the bars you could take your mask off while you're sitting down. But as soon as you stood up, you had to put the mask back on.
Yeah, or go out to the bathroom. I hope to goodness that craziness does not come back.
I don't think it will.
I hope not. I've joined up with other groups out of the country, one out of Washington and one out of New York, just to kind of get a feel for what's going on in other parts of the country. Because myself, I don't watch MSM anymore. I don't trust it. I don't watch local news other than maybe the weather. That's it. But we should be very lucky and grateful in the state of Alabama that we're as open and free as we are, because Washington, New York, other states are not. It's like a total different world up there. Total different world.
Yeah, and remember Andrew Cuomo. He was the poster child of everything doing right for coronavirus, and you see what he was doing, and I love when somebody starts in with me and they talk about when they say first out, if Trump would have, what? I said, when he shut down flights from China, I said, you lost your mind on the left. I said, he instituted Operation Warp Speed for the vaccine, had had GM producing ventilators, had naval ships up there taking care of people. Yeah. What else was he supposed to, what else did you want?
Taking ventilators or something.
Yeah, he had the auto plants doing it. Yeah, they're trying to blame. Well, he would have what? Well, what was he supposed to do? What did you want to be done?
Trump supporter. I'm not. I'm not a supporter of Operation Warp Speed. I don't support the way that Trump has came out and pushed the vaccine, but I do agree with the fact that he is saying still it is choice. It is choice. And that's what certain aspect is trying to take from us is our choice, our rights. I watched some of the rally from yesterday in DC, and Dr. McCullough came out and said about our own bodily autonomy. This is all I have. Truthfully, this being is all mine, and I control what I put in it, what I do with it. And for someone else to try to take that away from me, I don't understand how anyone can support that.
Yeah, I mean, I've listened to so many people, blaming it. You're gonna kill somebody.
Yeah.
How
Going to kill grandma. But the whole time is they forgot they were killing grandma by sticking sick people in the nursing homes.
Yeah, in the United States, that's where almost half the death. I don't know what it is to now, but one time that's where almost half the deaths had come from was in nursing homes.
Yeah, because they were purposely doing that.
Yeah.
They were purposely doing that.
So, what's your opinion on Dr. Fauci?
Dr. Fauci is a snake oil salesman.
Do you think he has evil intentions, or he just doesn't? He's
I think he's evil intentions. I think that we look at what he did with the poor beagle dolls. Nobody talks about that anymore with the sandfly experiments. Anybody that does that is evil. I feel like. I don't trust him. I mean, remember a few years ago, Lord, we've been in this thing for going on 2-3 years now. But way at the beginning, when he was telling everybody to mask up, he told, and then it was a picture taken of him at a ballpark, not wearing a mask. That should be enough indication for people that everything that he has said has been lies.
If you listen to him answer, and I love listening to the guy because he's a politician's doctor. He will start answering. He'll be saying yes, 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 yes. By the time he answers the question, he said no. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I don't even listen to him anymore because I'm not going to do anything he says. If he says something, I'm probably going to do the opposite.
He, yes, and you said a while ago about 2-3 years. Yeah, we're 15 days in it now to flatten the curve.
Yeah.
Hearing that.
Yeah.
Back when this, well, I hadn't even got here yet, really. It was in early January of 2000. Well, it had got here. It was not yet. It was early January of 2020. Me and a friend, we used to go down there to the fish market every day on the south side.
Mm-hmm.
We used to go down there a good bit. And when, that's where a lot of the medical, travelers, business travelers, and we went to, we used to go down there and sit at the bar a couple times a week. And on Thursday, we was down there and he just said, I don't feel good. I said, I don't feel good. And I was like, really? He said, yes, I feel good. Friday he called me, said he felt worse. And Saturday, he asked me if I'd come down there to his house. I just lived across the street from him. And so I went down there and, oh God, he sounded like death. And he asked me if I'd stay. And I said, yeah. So after about 6 days of being down there, he was still running a 90-degree temperature. I was like, this can't be the flu. And he ended up having every symptom that what it was. And he was an old, and it took a lot out of him. I think, I mean, it hit him hard. I mean, I think that's what's wrong with him now, because he's ended up having full-blown dementia not too much after that, and then going into assisted living. But anyway, I was helping him go to the bathroom, carrying him, wherever he needed to go. And I never got, I never got, and maybe I'm just lucky, my body didn't catch it, but I've read where half the people who got infected with it never showed a symptom.
Yeah, we think my dad had it back in around the same time before it officially dropped, but he had a cough. He, was kind of sickly. He went to the doctor. The doctor told him he had a respiratory infection, wrote him some steroids, a cough syrup, your typical run of the mill, what you used to do. He coughed for like 2 weeks. He got better. We were all around him. And I went through this whole thing and not been sick the first time. And like I said, I've never worn a mask. I firmly believe that my dad had it. He does too. And that we built an immunity just from being around him.
And I didn't realize this. I had to look it up. The common cold is a coronavirus.
Yeah.
And we didn't have, we didn't have a flu outbreak or a common cold outbreak for 2 years.
That's why those PCR tests are so unreliable, is because that when they're tested, it's like a generic drug test. It's like it just tests for anything on that panel, but it doesn't break down specifically what it's looking for. It's just looking for things in the family. So you could have the common cold, you could have the flu, you could have this, you could have that, but it's going to all pop up as coronavirus.
People asked me, they said, you don't think it's real? I said, yeah, I think it's real. I said, but I think the common cold and the flu is real. I said, I just don't think that, I think we're not being told the whole facts of this.
No, because if you want to get deep into conspiracy theory, The conspiracy theory is that, Fauci was involved in this quote unquote gain of function or biohazard weapon creation over in Wuhan.
That's where the
And yeah, and he created it. They unleashed it. It is bad in some folks. It's not bad in others. But the whole method of creating it is to bring down and create the new world order. If you want to get real deep into it,
I watched. I mean, it's an interesting conspiracy theory. I mean, coming out of the.
Well, it is and it isn't, because if you want to look at the World Economic Forum, that's not a conspiracy theory. That's a real deal. They actually just met in Davos last week.
The the CNN. I watched this. It was the day. I think it was the day Trump was fixing to shut down the government or shut everything down, or maybe the day before. But I watched this. They had like a 5-minute thing on there, and they never ran it again and never heard of it again. They said back in November of 2018, November 2018, we had intelligence agents that got access to those labs over there, and they reported we've got a major problem fixing to develop on our hands over here. That's the last brand of that story. They shut that down quick. And I remember one night I was watching the show, and I never seen any more either. They were showing up there in China. These doctors over there couldn't figure out what was wrong with these people, and then all of a sudden the Chinese military is just in there all over these people and carrying them out.
I seen that doctor that first busted it about the coronavirus over in China. They killed him. they couldn't find him.
Yeah.
And then and then he died.
There was 3 Russian doctors too, right at the start of this. They got thrown off a balcony.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna, at least we're bottom feeders. We don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, he's gonna listen to us talk about it.
Well, we're in Alabama. So.
What do you think about Governor Ivey's response to it?
I'm not a supporter of Governor Ivey. I think Governor Ivey will sell us out to the highest bidder. I'd like for Governor Ivey to answer a question. Actually, I'd like for her to answer for once and for all what she was meeting with the CCP consulate in Dallas before they burned it up. I'd like for her to answer that question, because she's never answered that. She's never come out on the record why she was meeting with members of the Chinese Communist Party in Dallas before they burned the consulate.
The speaker cut out of me. Go back to the beginning. You said you'd like for Governor Ivey to answer a question about what now?
Why she met with members of the Chinese Communist Party in Texas at the consulate before the Chinese burned it, or they burned all their documents in the courtyard. 2 years ago, Ivey met with them. She's never answered why she did. Ivey never was supposed to be governor. Okay, she was governor by default, and then she kind of just stayed there because she became governor when Bentley got into all his trouble.
Right.
And then she locked us down. Sorry. So I feel like I'm going to be very nice. I just think Ivey needs to go. Her statement about how I don't want to quote her because it'll be a misquote. But a few months ago, she came out and said that the unvaccinated were not the smart people. To be smart and be vaccinated. That statement in itself should be a prime example of how Ivey truly feels about the people in her state, or at least a large portion of us.
I wasn't aware of that one. I kept recording it.
I've never been a supporter of Ivey. Actually, I've always voted. I've voted since I was 18 years old. I abstained. I could not vote. I couldn't vote for Walter Maddox, and I couldn't vote for Ivey. So we were kind of screwed the last time around. This time around, I think we've got some major contenders to be governor. So hopefully we will not have Ivey around, and we could keep Alabama the free open state, not worried about being sold out if someone comes along and gives her the right price tag.
So you think we're gonna be shut down anymore, or you think we've flattened the curve?
I don't know if you could say flatten the curve, because just like with the flu, I feel like with the coronavirus, always going to be a variant come out.
I knew that is like a metaphor. Like, are we finally over it now? That
But I feel like most people are done with it. But if we got the wrong person in office, I feel like they would lock us down again. Yes.
Okay. Well, like I said, when I finish recording, I'll tell you some things about don't put on her right here.
Okay.
What I think that's about all the questions I have. Is there anything else you'd like to add about this?
No.
What's the name of it again?
Oh, it's the group. The name of the group is Keep Alabama Open. We're on Facebook. Just I'm sure that we're getting shadow banned. You just have to type it in. And it's a group of just people that are the original group was more fixated on just the state. But the second group, this newest group, is, we're looking at things worldwide. Like today, there was a lot of postings about what's going on in Canada because the truckers are going to shut Canada down. That when they shut Canada down, that's going to affect us down here. We're hoping the truckers here start a convoy and shut it down. We'll shut the whole country down to free up everybody in the country, not just Alabama, not just this state, not just that state, but the whole country needs to be open. So we follow what's going on around the world. We follow what's going on in the country. And we're all about everybody going back to the way it was, our not a new normal, but just normal.
To normalcy, a return to
normalcy. Yes.
All right. Thanks a lot, Beth. It's been fun.
Right. Thank you.
Don't